It is late in the afternoon and you are so tired. The baby is on the floor in front of you on the little playmat kicking, and you are sitting there with your phone in your hand because someone, somewhere, told you that by now you should be doing something. Flashcards maybe, the clever black and white pictures, the toy that lights up and counts, the one that promised right there on the box to build your baby's brain. You have read that these early months matter more than any others, that a window is closing, that if you miss it, you cannot get it back. And so you sit there, worried, scrolling, looking for the right thing to buy, the right class to book, the right exercise to do tonight. And while you are looking down at the screen, your baby looks up at you and makes a small sound, a little "eh," and reaches one hand toward your face, and you almost miss it because no one ever told you. That small sound, that little reach, that ordinary thing happening right in front of you for free. That is the thing. That is the whole thing. My name is Naomi Takahashi. I am 63 years old. I raised 3 children of my own, and now I help raise 5 grandchildren, so my hands have been on babies, in one form or another, for more than 40 years. I learned how to do it not from a book and not from a screen, but from my mother and from her mother, in a small house in Kanazawa where 3 generations lived close together, and the older women taught the younger ones simply by doing. And in all those years, I have never once owned a flashcard. I never bought a toy that promised to make a baby clever. I never had an app. What I had, what my grandmother had, what mothers had for a very long time before any of this, was something much, much simpler. And today, I am going to put it back into your hands. So here is what I am going to show you. One thing, only one. The single ordinary thing that does more for a baby's growing mind than any toy on any shelf, and it is something you have been doing, a little, since the day your baby was born, without ever knowing its name. I will show you exactly how to do it, the small steps of it. I will tell you the one part that almost every tired parent misses, and it is so simple you will not believe it matters as much as it does. I will show you how it changes as your baby grows, from the first quiet weeks to the chattering toddler. And near the end, I am going to tell you the part that the people who sell the toys and the apps would least like me to say out loud. But first, let me promise you one thing, and I want you to hear it before anything else. This is not about being a perfect parent. You cannot do this wrong. There is no way to fail at it. So please set the worry down just for the little while we are together. Stay with me to the end, and I think you will breathe easier than you have in weeks. Now, let me tell you the thing you have been told wrong, because almost everyone is told it now. You have been led to believe that your baby's brain is a project, a thing you must build with the right materials, bought from the right shops, that there is special work to be done. The right kind of stimulation, the right toys, the right music played at the right hour, and that if you do not do it, or do not do it correctly, your child will fall behind, and it will be your fault. You have been made to feel that something delicate and urgent is happening inside that little head, and that it depends on you knowing things you were never taught. I want to tell you gently that this is not how a baby's mind grows. It is true that a baby's brain is busy. When your baby is born, almost all of the brain cells they will ever need are already there. What is not there yet are the connections between them. And those connections are what let a child move and feel and understand and one day speak. In these early years, the brain is building those connections faster than it ever will again. More in a single second than you could count in a long afternoon. That part is real, and it is wonderful. But here is what they do not tell you. Those connections are not built by flashcards. They are not built by the clever toy. They are built by you, by ordinary life, by your face and your voice, and the 100 small moments in a day when your baby reaches out in their own little way and you reach back. A baby's brain is not built like a machine, from a kit. It is grown, like a garden, in the warmth of being noticed and answered. Your attention is the sunlight. That is all it has ever needed. So let me tell you what this one thing actually is. It is a conversation, a back and forth between you and your baby that has been going quietly since the day they were born. The young ones today, they have given it a clever name. They call it serve and return, like a game of tennis. And that is not a bad picture. So let us use it. Think of a gentle game of tennis, except you are not hitting a ball back and forth. You are passing little looks and sounds and smiles and touches. And here is the part I love. In this game, your baby always serves first. Always. It is never your job to begin. It is only your job to answer. That is the whole thing. Your baby reaches out in some small way to say, I am here. Are you there? And you answer, yes, I am here. Over and over through an ordinary day. That answering, that is the most loving thing you can do for the growing mind of your child. Not the toy, not the class, the answering. And it costs you nothing but your attention. And let me be honest with you about that cost, because honesty is most of what I have to offer you. It does not cost money. You do not need to buy a single thing. It does not even cost you extra time. And this is what I most want the tired parent to hear. You do not need to set aside a special hour for it. You do not need energy you do not have, or cleverness, or a plan. This little back and forth lives inside the ordinary day you are already living, while you change a nappy, while you feed, on the walk, in the bath, in the small quiet moment before sleep. The cost is only this, that now and then, through the day, you notice your baby reaching for you and you turn toward them instead of away. That is the whole price. A little of your attention, given freely. Most parents are already paying it, without knowing. I am only going to show you how to pay it on purpose. So how do you actually play this game? There are 3 small parts, and I will walk you through each one. The first part is to notice the serve. This is just learning to see the small ways your baby reaches out to you. And babies reach out in so many ways. A young baby might look at you and hold your eyes. They might make a little sound, a coo, an a gurgle. They might wave their arms or kick their legs or turn their head toward your voice. An older one might point at something or hold a toy up for you to see or crawl across the floor and put a small hand on your knee. Even a fuss, even a cry is a serve. It is your baby saying, something is not right. Are you there? Each of these, every one, is a little hand held out. The first skill is only to start seeing them. The second part is to return the serve, to answer. And answering is far simpler than you fear. It is just turning toward your baby and giving something back. If they look at you, you look back and you smile. If they coo, you make a sound back, or you put their sound into words. Oh, is that right? Is that? Tell me more. If they hold up the toy, you look at the toy and you name it. Yes, that is your little bear. If they reach to be picked up, you pick them up. If they are upset, you soothe them, your voice low and warm. You are simply saying, in whatever small way, I saw that. I am here. Go on. You are not performing. You do not need clever words. Your face and your voice are enough. They have always been enough. And then comes the third part. And this is the part almost every parent misses, and it is the one I most want you to remember. After you answer, you wait, you pause. You give your baby a moment, and a longer moment than you would ever think, to take in what you did, and to gather themselves, and to serve again. A baby's mind works slowly in these early days. It takes them time to plan the next little sound, the next reach, longer than it takes you. So most of us, without meaning to, we rush in. We fill the silence. We answer. And then we answer again and again, and we leave no space for the baby to come back. So I am asking you to do something that feels like nothing at all. After you answer, be quiet, wait, watch their face, count slowly to yourself if you must, and you will see it. The baby gathers, and then they come back to you with a new sound, a new look, a new reach. And that little volley, them and you back and forth and back again, that is the thing itself. That is the brain growing in real time in your lap. Now let me tell you why this works, plainly, and without pretending I am a doctor, because I am not one. When your baby reaches out and you answer, something is learned, not a fact. Your baby is far too small for facts. Something deeper. They learn that the world answers back, that when they call, someone comes, that the small things they do, the sound, the look, the reach, mean something and land somewhere and bring a warm face close. And from that, slowly, two things grow that matter more than anything you could teach on purpose. The first is trust, the deep, early, wordless trust that they are safe and held and not alone. In my language, there is an old word for this sweet, secure closeness of a small child leaning on the one who loves them. We call it a may. It is the baby's lovely confidence that they can reach and be caught. And a baby who is sure of being caught is a baby who, later, reaches further. And the second thing that grows is the back and forth itself, which is the root of nearly everything. Every conversation your child will ever have begins here, in these wordless little volleys, the taking of turns, the waiting, the listening, and the answering. This is where language is born, long before the first word. This is where a child first learns how two minds meet, and those connections in the brain we spoke of. They take root in exactly these moments, in the warmth of being answered, again and again. You are not stimulating a brain. You are in a relationship with a person. The brain grows because the relationship is there. Let me tell you something I remember. From when I was a young girl, watching my grandmother, she had a way with the babies of our street that everyone spoke of. And when I was older, I tried to work out what her secret was, because she had no tricks, no special things. And I realized, in the end, that it was only this. She was never in a hurry with a baby. She would hold one of the neighbor's little ones on her lap, on the tatami, by the low table in the afternoon light, and she would say something soft, and then she would simply wait. She would let the silence sit, where the rest of us would fill it, fuss, jiggle, chatter. She would just hold still and watch the baby's face with all the time in the world, and the baby, given that space, would always come back to her. A sound, a smile, a small hand opening, and she would answer and then wait again. I thought, as a child, that she was doing nothing at all. I know now she was doing the most important thing there is. She was answering, and she was waiting to be answered. That is all it ever was. And here, let me come back to that pause, because there is more in it than I first said. The waiting is the thing most parents miss. But there is a reason it is hard, and the reason is love. We rush in because we are eager, because we adore them, because the silence makes us anxious that we are not doing enough. And I want to free you from that, because here is the truth that the whole worried world seems to have forgotten. Your baby does not need you to catch every single serve. They truly do not. You will miss some. You will be tired and look away. You will be on the phone, paying a bill, stirring a pot, holding the other child. You will have whole afternoons where you have nothing left to give, and you simply get through them. And none of it, breaks anything. A baby does not need a perfect partner in this little game. A baby needs an ordinary, warm, usually their partner, who answers often enough with love. That is all. Often enough is the standard, not always. Not perfectly. Often enough. So please let go of the idea that you must be switched on every moment, reading every cue, or you will harm them. That is not true, and it never was. The misses are part of it, and the turning back toward them after you have drifted away, that is part of it too. Now this changes as your baby grows, so let me walk you up the years. In the very first weeks, the serves are quietest and hardest to read. I will not pretend otherwise. A newborn's signals are subtle, and the very same little squirm might mean tired or hungry or simply done. Do not worry about reading them perfectly. In these early days, just answer the obvious ones: the gaze, the cry, the moment they go still and soft at the sound of your voice. And trust that you are doing enough, because you are. Then, somewhere in the middle of the first year, it gets easier and more fun. The sounds become clearer. The babbling starts. And oh, when your baby babbles at you, babble back. Have a whole nonsense conversation. They will love it, and they are learning the music of talking long before the words. The gestures sharpen, the pointing begins, and pointing is a wonderful serve. When your little one points, look where they point, and name it, and you are pouring words into them gently, all day long. And then comes the toddler, and the back and forth becomes a real conversation, with real words, and the same 3 parts hold: notice, answer, and still, wait. Give the toddler time to find their words. Do not finish their sentences for them. The pause never stops mattering. And if you have more than one child, please do not despair that you cannot give this to each of them every moment. You cannot, and you do not have to. The older one can be part of it. Let them answer the baby. Let them play the game too. It is good for both of them. And the small moments still come, scattered through the day, one child at a time. You do not need a quiet house and an empty schedule. You need only the moments you already have, used with a little more attention. Now, I can hear some of you, and let me answer you, because your worries are fair. Naomi, I work. I am gone all day. I do not have hours for this. And I want to take that weight off you right now. This was never about hours. It is about the moments you do have, and you have more of them than you think. The morning, the bath, the feed, the few minutes in the evening before sleep. 10 small answered serves, scattered through the edges of a working day, are worth more than 1 forced hour of special time that you are too tired to truly mean. The quality here is not measured by the clock. It is measured in warmth. Bring your warmth to the moments you already have, and it is enough. Naomi, I am on my own, and I am exhausted, and most days I am just surviving. Then hear me. This asks nothing of you that you do not already have. No energy, no money, no plan. On your very hardest day, when you can give nothing else, you can still, once, meet your baby's eyes when they look at you, and smile, and say their name softly. That single moment counts. You are not failing. You are doing one of the most important things there is, in the middle of one of the hardest things there is. And to the parent of the little one who is fussy, or strong-willed, or simply hard to read, your baby is not broken, and neither are you. Some babies serve in ways that are harder to catch. So you keep answering the ones you can. You keep turning toward them. This is built over thousands of small, ordinary days. It is not won or lost in any single one. Now I am going to do the thing I promised and tell you honestly what this does and what it does not. Because anyone who only tells you the good part is trying to sell you something. So here is the honest part. This will not make your baby a genius. It will not make them advanced. It is not a guarantee of anything. Not of how clever they will be. Not of how they will do in school. Not of who they will grow up to become. Any person or any box on any shelf that promises you a smarter baby is lying to you and taking your money for the lie. What this does is gentler and truer than that. It helps your baby grow up feeling safe and answered and not alone. And that is a foundation worth far more than cleverness. But it is a foundation, not a fortune teller. Every child is their own person and grows at their own pace in their own time. And I will say this once more because the worried world has made it so hard to believe. You cannot ruin this. The tired days, the missed moments, the times you got it wrong, those did not damage your child. A baby's growing mind is not a fragile thing that shatters if you look away. It is built by nature for ordinary, imperfect, loving care, for misses and for mending. You are not walking a tightrope. You never were. There is one thing, though, that I do want you to take seriously, with love. If your baby does not seem to be reaching out at all, if they do not meet your eyes or respond to your voice or make sounds in the way you would expect for their age, and this is something that worries you, please do not sit alone with that worry. And please do not take it to the internet at 2 a.m. Take it to your doctor or your health visitor. Babies grow differently, and some of them need a little extra help early on, and there is no shame in that at all. It is one of the kindest things you can do. Trust what you feel. If something quietly nags at you, ask someone who can truly look. So let me tell you that last part now. The part I said they would not want me to say. Sit with this for just a moment. The most powerful thing for your baby's growing mind is your face, your voice, your attention. It is free. It cannot be bought or sold or improved upon. You already own it. You were born holding it. Now think about how much money has been built on making you doubt that. The toys that promise on the box to build a brain, the flashcards, the clever apps, the classes you are told to book, the programs, the milestone charts that drop into your inbox so that you can lie awake at night, measuring your baby against a line on a page. There is a whole industry, a large and clever one, that needs you to believe that your baby's mind is a project too important and too complicated for an ordinary parent to manage on their own, that you must buy and book and worry and then buy again, and they need you to believe it, because there is no money, none at all, in telling a tired mother the truth, that she and her warm face and a little patience are already most of what her baby needs. And that is the part that makes me sad, more than it makes me angry, because the answering of a baby is the oldest thing in the world. My grandmother did it. Her grandmother did it. Mothers and fathers have done it, by firelight and by lamplight for longer than anyone can count, long before there was a single thing to buy. And then, somewhere not so long ago, someone gave it a clever name and put a price on it, and sold it back to frightened parents as though they had never known how. So this video is me, taking it back and putting it back into your hands where it always belonged. You do not need them. You truly do not. So let me leave you with something small to do this week. Not a program, not a plan, just this. Sometime today when your baby looks at you or makes a sound or reaches for you, notice it, answer it, however small, and then wait. Leave the space and let them come back to you. That is all. Notice, answer, wait. If you do only that here and there through your ordinary days, you are giving your child the very thing that matters most. And then come and tell me about it. I would truly love to know. Write to me down below and tell me how old your little one is, and one small serve of theirs that you have come to know by heart, the particular sound, the little look, the way they reach. Tell me, and I will read it. I read every single one. And next time, I want to help you with the hardest part of all of this. Those first quiet weeks when a tiny baby's signals are so very hard to read. I am going to show you the small hidden signs a newborn gives, before words, before clear gestures, for when they are tired, when they are hungry, when they want to play, and when they have simply had enough. Once you can read those, all of this becomes so much easier. So please come back for that one. Until then. Children have been raised by tired, worried, deeply loving parents for a very long time, long before any of the gadgets, and you already carry almost everything your child needs. So be patient with your little one, and be just as patient with yourself. You are doing so much better than they would ever have you believe. I will see you next time.